dad got a lot of heat. I think a lot of the reasons Dubois has lost this fight, and I think a lot of the blame has to go on his dad.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, separately, he just lost against a very good boxer, by the way. But his preparation for it, by the looks of it, from what we're seeing, poor, you could argue. And it's that old-fashioned question of, like, at some point, like Fury has done with his dad to an extent, you've got to remove him from the corner, because in that fight, you had Don Charles, very respected coach, giving instructions out, and then his dad telling him as well. His dad shouldn't be saying anything.
I think that's maybe it's a media thing where we've seen it against Miller, Pergovic. I don't know if we saw it against AJ, but we've seen it. Dubois in a tough fight. He's struggling. And we know Dubois' mentality can differ between kind of that rock solid confidence that we saw against AJ, where it looked like nothing could stop him, and that kind of feels entitled to something that he's not against Usyk in round 5 of their first fight, and therefore kind of seems to just give up on the fight as a whole and eventually gets put down and knocked out by a jab. So there's definitely, Dubois is a bit swings and roundabouts. He didn't need 20 people in his corner, and his dad at times has been very useful when he's been sat ringside and then come over and gone, Daniel, come on, you need to get your head in this. But he shouldn't be there from the start.
Yeah.
And we are going to talk about the pretty obvious fight day issue.
With all due respect as well, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah,
U16 got into the ring with him after the fight. That's maybe, 11, 12 plus people?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw 3 or 4, 5 in Dubois' corner.
Yeah.
This is the other problem. Like, all there for glory. And listen, they could have gone backstage, sat with him, consoled him. But I think if you're going to go into a fight, 20 man up down to the ring, and then at the end of the fight, when Dubois lost his 5 in the ring, you open yourself for criticism.
Yeah.
Because it just adds on top of the questions. I'm not saying then people weren't there for him, but visibly to the 90,000 people watching in Wembley, you weren't there for him.
Yeah.
People can't see what happens backstage.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So, yeah. It's all a mess, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're watching two polar opposites. It seems like we've got Usyk, who genuinely has a case for being the most dedicated fighter that I think we've ever seen, because he's 38, and we've still not seen any signs of him getting older.
Can I say one thing?
He looks better than he's ever looked, actually. Yeah, go on, please.
That is why Dubois was never... I put a bet on with somebody at work 5 months ago who said to me, I bet you £50 Dubois is going to beat Usyk, yeah? Friendly wager. I said, I'll snap your hand on it. In fact, let's do 100 or 200. Yeah. I was that confident. Said, no, we'll keep it friendly 50. Anyway, I collected my £50, offered him.
Nice.
A couple of other bets that people made with me. And I don't mean it from a disrespectful place, but the reason I was so confident Usyk was going to win is because you can't buy mentality. Like, your mentality, you either got it or you don't. And sometimes people can make up for it in other areas. But you're talking about a man, and this is why I go back to my point, the Eastern European fighters, the way they're brought up, what they brought up around, very different, very robotic in what they do, not anything really outside of it. And they train. Usyk didn't see his family for 3 months. Dubois had a house party before his fight. We're talking about two guys who mentalities are different. Usyk went away from his family for 3 months, left his family in, I think, Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. Bearing in mind, they just so happen to be going for a war with Russia at the moment. So you've got all of that to deal with, and you've got to train for a fight, and this and that, and then to be told by people you're a quitter, which is mental, by the way, because people did do it. Whether or not people want to say after the fight that he's not a quitter because they want to jump on a bandwagon or he won, people were saying that he quit. At the end of the day, he's, I would say, got more on his plate mentally than probably 98% of the fighters fighting right now, just in terms of probably everything he's got to deal with. I saw a clip come out where someone was talking to Usyk, and they were talking about it, and he said he woke up in the middle of the night chatting to him. It may have been one of his team, and or not, somebody else. I can't remember where I watched it, but he said 2 missiles have just flown over my house in Ukraine. I can't be bothered to go to the bunker, so I'm just going to go back to sleep. Do you understand the kind of person you need to be? And then you get in the ring with someone like that. The guy, I think Derek Chisora said it perfectly. He's earned in excess of 90 million for this fight, 70, 80 million for this fight.
Yeah.
Let's be brutally honest with you now, yeah? Chisora said he's not going to be able to spend it because, like, for the next 10 years, as much money he earns, he puts back into his cause, his country, to help people. So the guy's fighting for a nation, literally fighting for a nation who are on the brink of being destroyed or attacked. You can't buy mentality. Do you understand? And on top of that, he was just an unreal boxer. So the whole package for me to fight a 27-year-old man who probably doesn't have as much worries and stresses in life as probably Usyk has, never going to win. I'm going to be honest with you.
No, you're right. Let's talk about that. You mentioned it briefly. Dubois, party time. I want to say, first of all, I don't blame Daniel Dubois for this because it's the people around him. It seems to be, sadly, his dad. Now, Don Charles has gone on to TalkSport and they've asked him about it. And I think he kind of officially said it's about bringing good energy for Daniel. And it's actually helping him mentally. And they did it for the AJ fight, and that's why he looked so good. But they did it for this fight, and he ended up being late because they didn't have enough cabs to get all. It's reported 70 people. And then there's photos, or I have not seen these photos or videos, so I'm not actually sure these exist. But there's meant to be photos or videos outside the venue where Daniel Dubois' dad is basically saying, if you don't let all of these people in, Daniel's not fighting. Then Daniel Dubois is about an hour late getting into the venue, which I know it sounds so like